Welcome to Fun Time Lanes in Holyoke, Massachusetts, where the Western New England Candlepin Association Pro Tour is beginning its 2011-2012 season. The season always begins with an event at Fun Time Lanes in Holyoke. And in this match, you're going to see it's the first stepladder match, and you're going to see Tom Bishop, who is the number 4 seed, qualifying with a 643 in 5 strings against the number 5 seed Steve Vadney, who qualified with 626. Both of these bowlers are no stranger to the tournament scene in Western New England because they both won tournaments on the Western New England Tour. And Steve Vadney, who's starting on lane 6, is a veteran of many years on the circuit. And besides the Western New England Tour, he's also in the Pro Series, and he's made a lot of appearances on TV and the old Channel 5 show and Channel 50 and the Comcast Candlepin Challenge. Steve is out of New Hampshire, and Tom Bishop is out of Pittsfield, Massachusetts. He bowls at Candle Lanes. Both bowlers are going to be open in the first box. Steve Vadney with a 10. Tom Bishop will be trying to convert the 3-pin for a 10, and he's got it. As I noted, both of these bowlers qualified well into the 600s. These scores were fairly high here at Fun Time. Steve Vadney qualified 5th with individual strings of 118, 126, 123, 117, and 142 for his 626 total. Meanwhile, Tom Bishop had 133, 102, 147, 145, and 116 for his 643. And Tom marks with a spare in the second box. Meanwhile, that'll be a 7 box for Steve Vadney. Steve has 17 through 2. Tom with 17 with a spare up. Steve Vadney drops 5, kind of a light 1-2 pocket hit. He leaves the 3, 5, 6, 9, 10. And a similar hit by Tom Bishop, but he takes 7, leaving just a 3, 5, 6 triangle. And there is a spare by Steve Vadney. Nice shot to convert that 5 drop. Let's take a closer look at how he did it. Really just a perfect hit there, splitting the 3, 6 and converting that spare. Let's see what Tom Bishop can do with the triangle. He just slides by the 3-pin, just taking out the 6, so he'll be open in the third. And Tom is going to record a 9 box. He's got 36 through 3. Tom Bishop with 36. Steve Vadney with 27 with the ball working. And Steve adds just 4. He took out the 3, 5, 6, and 9, and the 6-pin went off the right sidewall and then all the way in across the deck, and now it's sitting in front of the 4-7. Tom Bishop also with a 4 drop over on the left side. And Tom with a nice bid there, but he was a little too full on the head pin. Steve Vadney will record an 8 box for 39 through 4. Tom Bishop also with an 8. That gives him 44 through 4. He's leading by 5. Steve Vadney, in addition to the Western New England Tour and the Pro Series, he's also a regular on the Senior Candlepin Pro Tour. That's going to get started in a couple of weeks, I believe, with an event at Canal Lanes in Southampton. The Senior Tour is for candlepin bowlers 50 and older. And Steve with another spare, once again converting a 5 drop. And we'll take a look at how he does this. There's a piece of wood behind the 3-pin, and that kind of takes some of the wind out of the ball's sails as it tries to go back there. But the 6, 9, and 10 do eventually collapse, and that's a spare for Steve Vadney. Nice conversion. Tom Bishop with a 3 drop, and then he got 3 more. So he's going to have to try and make something out of this third ball. He just gets 1, so it's a 7 drop. 7 box. Tom Bishop with 51 through 5. Steve Vadney with 49 and a ball as they switch lanes. Tom Bishop comes over to lane 6. Steve will finish on lane 5. Tom Bishop with a 9 drop, leaving just the 5-pin. And Steve Vadney dropped that ball a little bit, putting just 3 on the spare. He's got 52. That does give him a 1-pin lead over Tom Bishop. And Tom is all over that 5-pin for a spare. And Steve just punches out the 2-pin, so he's really going to need an out here. He's only got 4. He's got the 1, 3, 5, 6, 9, 10. And that is a terrific out right there by Steve Vadney. That's very important in a close match. And we'll take a look at the replay. You'll see that he hits the left side of the head pin, takes out the 4 horsemen pretty quickly, and one of the pins just nudges the 9-pin, which falls forward into the 5. So that's a 10 box, and that's a pretty important out. Tom Bishop now trails by 1, but he's working on the spare, so whatever he can get over 1 will be his lead. And just 2, so he's got a 1-pin lead, 63 to 62. Steve Vadney with a 6 drop. It looks like he's got the 1, 3, 4, 7. So what this match lacks in high scores, it's making up for in drama. Looks like we're going to have a close finish. And Steve Vadney with a nice bid on that 1, 3, 4, 7. He tried to use the wood to kick the head pin off the wall into the 4, 7, but the 4-pin didn't go. And Tom Bishop with a nice out there for 9. He had the 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. In that other kind of bowling, they call that leave a Greek church. And he was able to use the wood to get everything but the 8-pin. And Steve Vadney with a 10 box. So through 7, it's a tie at 72. As Don Gillis would say, a flat-footed tie, 72 all through 7 boxes. So this one's going right down to the wire. Tom Bishop on lane 6 and Steve Vadney on lane 5. Tom misses the head pin to the left, but he gets a pretty good break and drops 7. And Steve Vadney with a strike. So that's really going to put some pressure on Tom to convert this spare. And it's 1, 3, 5. It's not that easy, but he's got it. Let's take a look at both of these shots on replay. First, we'll look at the strike by Steve Vadney. And he has kind of a sort of a medium mixer in the 1-3 pocket. Excellent sidewall action there, and he takes out the head pin, wipes out the left side. The 4 is the last pin to go. And Tom Bishop in need of an answer, and he's got one here. He hits light on the left side of the head pin, and the head pin takes out the 3, then goes to the sidewall and comes back for the 5. So that's gonna, once again, it's a tie, 82 for each bowler through 8 with a markup, but Steve's is a strike. And Tom Bishop with a strike. That's clutch right there. Let's take a look at this again. This is a sort of another sort of medium mixer, very similar to the strike that Steve Vadney just threw, except that it was on the 1-2 pocket. And Steve with 9, leaving the 10-pin. And as you see, the other qualifying scores of other bowlers that missed the cut in this event, Steve Vadney goes by the wood and takes that 10-pin for a spare. So that gives him Well, it's still, let's see, 102 to 102. And now it's Tom Bishop with the advantage of a strike to fill instead of a spare. Tom misses the head pin, gets 7, but leaves the 1, 2, 9. Pretty difficult.